Shameless commerce time here on Fire Your MD now, Wednesday, the 28th day of May, 2014. Wednesday, the 28th day of May, 2014. Welcome aboard, everybody. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, and if you haven't bought my book, the question before the board is, why? I mean, what are you waiting for? $9.99. You can download it to your computer right now. $9.99. If you're an old-fashioned type like me and prefer paper and ink, $19, I believe. $19.95, I think, is the price. So check it out on my website, drglidden.com, drglidden.com, or fireyourmdnow.com. Or if you can't remember any of those, just do a Google search for Dr. Glidden. That's me. I always pop up number one and follow the links. So, why is this important? Because knowledge is power, and for the last almost 100 years here in the United States, and quite frankly Canada and the European Union and everywhere around the world to varying degrees, people have been socialized to believe that the MD is the king of the hill, that their MD knows what's best for them, and it's a lie. It's not so. It's a myth. The earth is not flat. Blacks are not animals. That's how slavery was justified. Oh, they're not people, they're animals, and you can own them like property and do whatever the heck you want with them. In order to have a vital economy, you need to put the kids to work. Childhood labor is a necessity. Yeah, right. Those are all cultural myths, right, that we look back at now and laugh. Well, we're in the middle of a cultural myth right now. It's the ridiculous notion that your MD knows what's best for you, and your MD is the sole owner of the domain of medicine, and everybody else is a back-of-the-bus quack with substandard training. It's a lie. It's a myth. It's nonsense. But it has been brought to you quite successfully by the pharmaceutical industry. Sold to you, pitched to you quite successfully. So much so that the pharmaceutical industry and the MDs have completely monopolized the medical theater. So what happens when you're in absolute power? It corrupts absolutely. This from Medscape.com. A settlement has been reached between a drug company called Boehringer Ingelheim, and approximately 4,000 individuals involved in state and federal lawsuits. People claimed that the drug Pradaxa caused serious adverse effects, the vast majority of which were bleeding-related events, including fatal bleeding. The settlement amounted to $650 million, and the company expects that most of the plaintiffs will accept its terms. In a statement issued by the company, a senior vice president and general counsel, Desiree Ralls-Morrison, says, the company believed from the outset that the plaintiffs' claims lacked merit, but the settlement allows the company to avoid lengthy litigation, which would be a distraction. This settlement does not change the facts that Pradaxa or its importance to patients, right? So, when you're the king, you can kill the peasants and nothing happens to you except, well, maybe you have to pay the peasants' relatives a handful of coins. 13 coins? In this case, 650 million coins. So, absolute power corrupts absolutely, and when the MDs screw up and kill people or hurt people, maybe they have to pay a fine, maybe not. Nobody goes to jail. But more than that, there's no public outrage. What would happen if a chiropractor killed one patient? What would happen if an herbalist gave one patient an herb and it caused internal bleeding and they died? What would happen if a naturopathic doctor gave a patient a treatment and the treatment caused internal bleeding and they died? What would happen? I'll tell you what would happen. We'd be kicked out of the medical field. We'd be jailed. We'd be vilified on the altar of public opinion. It would be front page news all around the world. Oh, those quacks. We need to have serious legislation to limit all this alternative nonsense, because look what it does. But the MDs kill people, the MDs harm people, the MDs hurt people, the MDs bankrupt people, and nothing happens. Nobody blinks a flippin' eyelash. We all just have bought into the notion. We've all drunk the Kool-Aid. I mean, admit it. You've drunk the Kool-Aid. If you hadn't drunk the Kool-Aid, you wouldn't be putting up with this. All right? So 4,000 individuals, right? 4,000 individuals. Let's say there's 200 people on a jet airliner. 200 people on a jet airliner. That's like 20 jet airliners crashing. If 20 jet airliners crashed, all from the same airline, if 20 jet airliners crashed all last year, wouldn't there be a federal investigation? You think the company would still be in business? They'd probably be bankrupt, right? Nobody's going to want to fly on that airline anymore. Then, the Federal Aviation Administration would get involved, and they'd want to fix the problem. They'd want to get right to the root of the problem. Or, if kindergarten teachers all of a sudden started killing people, right? If kindergarten teachers in one city all of a sudden started killing their kids and 4,000 children were killed by their kindergarten teachers, there would be a serious investigation into what the heck is going on. What is there, some kind of a kindergarten cult? But when the drug companies kill people, when the drug companies harm people, they get a pass. Now, why is that? That's what I want to know. That's the question before the board today. Why do we give the drug companies a pass? And why do we still feel comfortable about getting advice from the people who are the leading cause of death and the leading cause of bankruptcy? Why do we still feel comfortable getting advice from MDs who, since they have dominated the medical theater for the last 80 years, at least here in the United States, have led under their watchful eye? Autism has skyrocketed. Alzheimer's has skyrocketed. Arthritis is getting worse. It hasn't skyrocketed, but it's not getting better. Type 2 diabetes is skyrocketing. Obesity, skyrocketing. Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the leading cause of bankruptcy, MD-directed medical treatments. Well, how can this all be? Well, because the most expensive type of medicine is the one that doesn't work. MD-directed medicine for chronic ailments. The things that most people go to the doctor for most of the time do not work. They don't work. They don't work. They do not work. You don't believe me? Well, think about high blood pressure. Can your MD cure high blood pressure? No. They can't cure it. They can manage it. Can they cure arthritis? How about that? Can they cure arthritis? No. They can manage the pain until the joint gets so bad you need to get it cut out. How about heartburn? That must be simple. Can the MD cure heartburn? No. They can manage it, though, with, the little purple pill for the rest of your life. People, there's a serious cognitive dissonance here. There is serious cognitive dissonance. People have put the MDs up on the altar of, medical science, and these people bring to the table the best that science has to offer, the best that educated, intelligent society has to offer in the treatment of disease. And the understanding even of disease. Forget about treatment. And it's not true. It's a myth. It's a medical myth. The earth is not flat. Blacks are not animals. Childhood labor is a bad idea. Your MD does not know what's best for you. Your MD knows what they've been trained in. And what they've been trained in is a tiny piece of the pie of medical science. But, Marcus Welby and Hawkeye Pierce and George Clooney and all of these television personalities, House, right, sell us the ridiculous notion that the MDs are really good at what they do. That what they should do is a reality series like Cops. That's what they should do. That would be great, wouldn't it? It paints quite a different picture of law enforcement, doesn't it, when they actually follow the cops around with cameras, when the cops will let you follow them around with cameras. It's very different than, Blue Bloods or any of these other TV shows. It's completely different. Well, if they did a reality show about medical treatment, people would stop going to the MDs. If everybody in this country got a copy of my book, if every cancer patient got a copy of my book and asked their oncologist, the 10 questions that I have in my book, in my chapter on cancer, with a recording device and a witness, cancer treatment would go to zero. It wouldn't go to zero. Some people would still do it. But cancer treatment would significantly drop because cancer treatment doesn't work. It doesn't work, and it's been proven to be ineffective. It's been proven to be ineffective. It doesn't work. But people trust that the MD knows what's best, and so the MD tells people what they're going to do. They don't ask you. They tell you what you should do, and people believe it. People fall in lockstep. It's like the lemmings chasing each other over the cliff, if that's even a true story. Right? It's monkey see, monkey do, and people just go along for the ride because that's social convention. Sure, let's buy some slaves today. Why not? Everybody's doing it. Let's put our kids to work. We need to make a little bit more money for the family, so send the 7-year-old to the sweatshop. Why not? He's old enough to work. He can open and close his hand, can't he? This is how it goes. It becomes reality by consensus because everybody's doing it. Everybody does it. Apparently the lemmings over the cliff thing was a staged experiment, but it's a metaphor, right? It's a metaphor for people doing what everybody else does just because everybody else does it, not because it's a real thing. Not because it's an effective thing. And this is why my book is so important. This is why this radio show is so important. This is why Ben Fuchs' show is so important. This is why Dr. Wallach's show is so important. This is why Longevity Nation is so important. Because we are standing on the mountaintop telling the truth. MD-directed medical treatments for chronic disease don't work. You need a different approach that's science-based, clinically verified, developed and delivered by physicians, and guess what? You have just found it. Deborah from New York is up next. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now let's get to it. This is Fire Your MD Now. drglidden.com. Click on the store button. Download a copy of my book right now. It will save somebody's life. Deborah from New York is up first with a question about vision, I think. Hey, Deborah, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Yes. Hello, doctor. It's a pleasure to talk with you. Thank you for taking my call. I was impressed in hearing about the study with patients that had macular degeneration. They had very poor eyesight, I think legally blind, and I heard that this small study, this group of people, got their 20/20 vision, which was so impressive and incredible. I wanted to know what they did. I wanted to know how long it took. Did they take eye injections? Was that something that you believe in or not?
Okay, great questions. Well, so let me start at the back and work forwards, right? Belief is irrelevant, right? That's like saying, do you believe in gravity? Well, whether you believe in gravity or not, gravity exists, right? So whether we believe in something or not is irrelevant, because if the therapeutic is in step with natural laws, then it's going to produce results. If it's out of step with natural laws, it's not going to produce results. And so the naturopathic medical community was formed. One of the foundations of naturopathic medical therapeutics is to prove with scientific inquiry and clinical trials the effectiveness or lack thereof of our treatments. And that's what's so great about naturopathy, because it marries the scientific method with holistic philosophy. And, you know, that's like never fail fudge. So I've seen many different types of eye conditions resolve with science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. Now, the degree that somebody is able to recover from anything with medical nutrition, whether it's a joint problem, a kidney problem, a liver problem, a skin problem, an eye problem, a weight problem, I don't care. The degree to which somebody is able to bounce back is loaded with variables, too many variables to predict here, right? There is a breaking point beyond which the body just can't fix that anymore. I mean, if you, heaven forbid, cut your finger off, right, with a lawnmower or a table saw, I'm not aware of any therapeutic that allows that finger to grow back, right? I mean, that's a breaking point. So we never know how bad the condition is, and we never know how much the body's going to be able to recover its structure and function. But rather than not doing anything, we march into the breach and say, well, look, the body knows how to fix itself. The body wants to fix itself. So let's give the body a fighting chance. Step out of the way and see how far back the body bounces. And as God is my witness, Deborah, since I've been following Dr. Wallach's methodology for the last four plus years, I don't know what planet I'm on anymore, because the things that I've seen people recover from are amazing to me. I mean, amazing to me. Before I met Dr. Wallach, I used to think I knew, where the point of no return was, but I'm no more, man. And if I had to guess, with medical nutrition, whether someone would be able to bounce back or not, my money would be on that they're able to bounce back. So the basic recommendation here to support and promote healthy eye function is the following. You ready?
Yes.
All right. The recommendation to support and promote healthy eye function is structure and function. Is 1, anti-aging healthy start pack. And 2, selenium. 1, anti-aging healthy start pack, and 2, selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per month. In addition to that, if you're under 300 pounds, you add 1 bottle of Ultimate Daily capsules. 1 bottle of Ultimate Daily capsules. So that's 1 Ultimate Daily.
Doctor, I just wanted to say that I'm 115 pounds.
Okay, so you would take 100. All right, so you would do 1 anti-aging healthy start pack.
Okay.
2, selenium.
In the morning and at night, or?
Well, this is bottles per month. This is bottles per month.
Oh,
okay.
Bottles. Okay.
All right, so you need, every month you would need to purchase 1 anti-aging healthy start pack.
Okay.
2, selenium.
All right.
And 1 bottle of Ultimate Daily capsules for your supplement needs. Now, another thing that we need to do, that we counsel people to do, is to stop eating food that's hurting, in your case, the eyes. And that list is easy to get. You can get that list for free on my website, drglidden.com. Here comes a commercial break, Deborah. Stick with me, and I'll finish this up with you on the other side of the commercial break. Thanks for tuning in and turning on, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Stick around. drglidden.com is where you want to be. Tell everybody in your life about it. Tell everybody in your life about this radio show. We are on a mission to change people's lives. No kidding. Talking to Deborah from Florida here, New York rather, who has a vision problem. So Deborah, you still with me?
Yes, I am.
All right. How'd you hear about me, Deborah? How'd you hear about this radio show?
I heard about you yesterday. From a friend that knows all about you and said that you're absolutely terrific and that I should call and perhaps you would shed some light on my issues, and I couldn't wait. And I love everything that you're doing, what you're saying, and after we hang up, I'm going to spend a lot of time researching.
Well, flattery will get you everywhere, Deborah. Flattery will get you everywhere.
Yes, and everything that you're saying is absolutely correct. And with all of the products that you take is important, but without diet and listening to all of the other necessary things that must be done, that's how you're going to benefit from having the best results.
Well, and you're absolutely right. And the point that the skill set that we bring to the table, the information set that makes us separate and distinct from everybody else in the holistic world, is the notion that In order for the human body to function the way that God and nature intended it to, it needs 90 essential nutrients, 90. The breakdown of the 90 is 60 minerals, things like calcium and selenium and zinc, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and 2 essential fatty acids for a grand total of 90. All of these nutrients are necessary for the body to work properly, but they're called essential because the body can't make them. The body needs to have an essential nutrient imported into it every day. Just like we need to drink water and breathe air and eat food every day, well, we need essential nutrients every day. The problem with this situation, however, Deborah, is that the 90 essential nutrients are not present in the food supply. They're not all there. They're just not there. So unless somebody is supplementing their diet with the 90 essential nutrients, it's only a matter of time until the body runs out of something and something breaks. And this is so simple. It's remarkable to me that everybody in the world isn't aware of this. And so our methodology here and our message is twofold. Number one, import into the body the 90 essential nutrients every single solitary day in good absorbable recipes appropriate for your body weight, right? And number two, stop eating food that's gumming up the works, right? You wouldn't put diesel fuel into an unleaded engine. You wouldn't put jet fuel into an automobile. So there are certain foods that will hurt the human body. The problem is, honestly, that because of the way that society has played itself out in the last 100 years, the food industry has become monopolized by for-profit institutions that don't really care or know anything about health. So we go to people who make the food to tell us what food is good for us, and then we lean on physicians who have no training with medical nutrition to tell us which foods are good for us, and that's why everybody in this country is sick, because we've taken the wrong dog to the hunt. So the information that we have about which foods are healthy for you and which foods are not healthy for you may seem a little curious to you. But I would suggest that you follow our advice for 90 days. I have lots of information on my website, lots of free stuff on my website you can use to educate yourself. And get with the person that told you about this stuff, because they'll be able to order the products for you at the wholesale price, and they'll also be able to tell you how to take them, right? Because there's a way to take this stuff that makes it easy on your system. And this is what we're up to, Deborah. We are a grassroots coalition of the informed all around the world. People who are frustrated with, getting sick, and they're sick and tired, honestly, of being sick and tired, and they know that there must be a better way. And so they try our way, they experience a positive benefit, and then they're going to tell everybody in their world about it. And that's what we do, and that's why we do it. So get with your friend. They'll tell you how to access the stuff and how to take the stuff, and they'll give you the list of the 10 bad foods, and then life is good.
Yes, I think it's so important what you're expressing to everybody, because I thought olive oil was good for me. I thought a lot of things were beneficial.
I know.
I was doing myself a disservice eating margarine. Just a little bit of knowledge I got in a short time. I was doing everything wrong, and now I want to do everything right. And you have to be committed, otherwise you're not going to get the results. And I am committed, and I think without you, I wouldn't be able to look for that healing, because I've been getting eye injections for about 4 months each month. They don't seem to be doing anything for my eyes. If anything, it almost seems worse. And I
Is it Avastin? Are you getting Avastin shots?
Yes, and I just wanted to know, should I continue? What is your opinion about that? Because I'm sure a lot of people are getting that.
All right, well, this is a slippery slope, right? Remember, it's not the drug, it's how it's used, right? It's not the gun, it's how it's used. Drugs are your best friend when they're used appropriately. But then thank God for Novocaine and penicillin, but the way that the MDs are trained to use drugs is bad. And now, this is a little bit of a slippery slope, because in the great state of New York, I am not allowed to prescribe Avastin. So because I can't prescribe it, I can't recommend people stop it. Now, if you were my patient in a state in which I was licensed and I had prescriptive rights for Avastin in that state, I would advise you to stop it immediately. But I can't do that here in the context of this radio program.
Is that steroids going into the eye?
It's an ineffective, well, from my point of view, it's a treatment that completely misses the mark of what causes the illness. And this is all that the MDs do, by the way. You know, I mean, this is not an MD bashing session. This is let's all just step back and get a clue. Because when it comes to trauma care, broken bones and bullets in your arms and a handful of infectious disease and surgery when it's really necessary, the MDs are awesome. But for everything else, they're not concerned with what causes the eye condition. They're not concerned with what causes the glaucoma. They're not concerned with what causes the pityriasis rosacea or the macular degeneration. They're not concerned with that. They're only trained to manage the symptoms of the disease with drugs. And the intention of the drug is not to fix the problem, but to suppress the symptom and manage the problem. It's like painting over the mold in the basement without fixing the source of the water leak. It's just nuts. It's only a matter of time until it gets worse.
Right.
So, you know, our recommendation is be smart, give the body a break, give the body the nutrition that it needs to optimize itself, stop eating foods that are gumming up the works, keep your fingers crossed, see what happens. Because really the most wonderful thing about holistic medical nutrition is the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Doesn't matter how much research you do, doesn't matter how much data I have to support this notion. You're either going to feel better with this program or you're not. And time will tell. I think you're going to love it.
You have to feel better. There's no way eating right, taking all these nutrients. How could you feel terrible? Taking pills with side effects and feeling awful? Who would want that? And you spend so much money with the pharmacy. I would much rather know that I'm feeding my body. And for everybody, it may take different amounts of time depending on where they're at. But I think everybody's going to be a winner. You can't be a loser this way.
And that's why my naturopathic profession is the most rapidly growing medical system in the world, because it works. And there's nothing better than results. Deborah, I have to move on. You're my favorite new caller. Call me back every couple of weeks with a report. I will look forward to it. Thank you very much. Now, you can tell she's gotten a piece of it, right? She's bitten off a piece of it, and she's sitting on the fence post chewing it. And she's smart enough to understand that, well, you know, if it works, it's going to work. And, well, what I'm doing right now isn't working, and, well, you know, I might as well do something else. And, well, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to go to a medical profession, licensed and regulated medical profession that is trained in the therapeutic administration of alternatives to MD insanity, and that's exactly what we do. It's a very exciting field. You know, this is not a miracle cure. This is not a panacea for all human ills. It's not. But I tell you what it is, new-fashioned medical nutrition that produces results. I mean, there's nothing here but good common sense, which produces results. Let's go to Tennessee and talk to Joe. Hey, Joe, thanks for hanging on. You are live.
Hello.
Hello, Joe. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, sir?
Very, very good. What part of Tennessee are you in?
Knoxville.
Knoxville, Tennessee. Very, very nice. Ever been to Chattanooga?
I've been through Chattanooga, yes, sir. It's
yes,
a
sir.
place.
Yeah, I've never been to Knoxville. I've been to Chattanooga. I've been to one other place in Tennessee. I can't remember it.
Well, come visit us.
I'd love to, man. I'd love to. Well, what makes you call in today, Joe? How can I help?
I got a brother they're saying he's got neuropathy, and we put him on the pig pack.
Oh, yeah. Smart man.
It's time to renew, and we just wanted to talk to you guys and make sure that we're on the right track.
Okay, great. So how long's he been on the pig pack?
This is his first month.
And did he experience any benefit from it anywhere in his body, mind?
Well, he's sitting here with me, so...
All right, yeah, let me talk to him. What's his name?
His name's Caleb.
Caleb. Hey, Caleb.
Hi there.
Hey, Caleb, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. So, Caleb, you've been doing this stuff for 4 weeks now, and we don't speak anything but the truth here, so no fibbing allowed, right? In the last 4 weeks, has anything brightened up? Has anything improved? Mood, energy, sleep?
No, that's the reason why we want to know if we got the right stuff.
Okay, great. So how old are you?
84.
And how much do you weigh?
235.
Okay, and you have neuropathy in your hands or in your feet?
In my hands and my feet, and I'm numb, almost numb up to my knees.
Okay, are you shorter than you used to be when you were a younger man?
Yes, sir, a little bit.
Yeah, about a half an inch or an inch?
Oh, at least an inch, yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, so here's the deal, right? A couple things to understand. The only time that medical nutrition doesn't work is if you're not taking the right stuff or you're not absorbing what you're taking efficiently. So, if the fuel line to the engine is clogged, I don't care how good the quality gasoline you're going to put in the tank, it's not going to be getting to the engine efficiently, and the engine's going to sputter, right? So we need to make sure that your body is absorbing the stuff that you're taking efficiently, and then we have to give the program a reasonable amount of time to produce results. When we do both of those things, we're going to get results, and we're coming up against a hard break here. Caleb, you stick with me. On the other side of the break, I'll dial this in for you. I appreciate your phone call very much. Stick around, buddy. I'll bring you up on the other side of the break. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for turning on. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Today is the 28th day of May, and this is Fire Your MD Now. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Glidden here, finishing up the first hour, Wednesday, May 28th, 2014. We're talking to Joe and Caleb in Tennessee. Caleb's trying to figure out the best thing to get on month number 2. So, Caleb, how much do you weigh, man?
235.
Okay, how tall are you?
5'9".
Okay, so here's the thing I want you to understand.
Let me say this. I don't have good blood flow into my legs.
Yeah, I understand that. Okay. Why, are your feet cold all the time?
Yeah, they hurt. I got a lot of pain.
And how about swelling up? Do they get swollen up?
Huh?
Does water accumulate in your legs?
No.
Okay, good. That's a very good thing. Do you get restless legs at night in bed, or is it hard to fall asleep?
No.
Okay.
No, and I get relief when I lay down.
Yeah, and do you sleep through the night pretty good?
Well, I wake up, I have to go to the bathroom several times. But otherwise, I sleep good.
Yeah, okay. And how about heartburn? Are you bothered by heartburn at all?
No, sir.
How about high blood pressure?
No, sir. And
how's your energy?
It's not real good. I take a lot of gabapentin.
Oh, yeah.
For the pain.
Yeah, I understand that. Okay, very good. So here's the deal, Caleb. I'm going to tell you how much to take of this in just a minute, but I want to preface this by saying this, and this is an important thing to understand, not just for you, but for everybody. This is not specifically a peripheral neuropathy treatment. All right, this is a Caleb from Tennessee treatment. And what I mean by that is,
I got it.
It's a holistic thing, right? So when you're on board with this program, in addition to looking to see what happens to your hands and your feet and your legs and your arms, you want to look to see what happens to your mood, your energy, your appetite, your weight, your sleep, everything, right? Because, from our point of view, everything is connected. Now, once you start to experience improvement somewhere in your body, once something starts to brighten up and get better, your mood gets better, your energy gets better, your weight gets better, whatever, that's a very, very good sign, and that's an indication that we're on the right track and that we just need to maintain the discipline until the body, sorts itself out. You can't plant a tomato seed on Monday and expect to be eating a tomato on Friday, but you can expect to be eating a tomato 3 months later, right?
Right.
All right, it's the same with the body. Now, generally speaking, the recommendation here for something noticeable to happen is 90 days, 3 months. So, recommendation for everybody is 3 months. So here's what I would recommend that you do every month in order to get on the other side of this. You're at the weight that you're at, the recommendation would be every month to purchase two anti-aging Healthy Start Pack original formulas. 2 anti-aging Healthy Start Packs.
Anti-aging
Healthy Packs original formula.
Packs.
Original formula. Yep.
Original formula.
4 selenium. 4 selenium. Yep. 4 bottles of liquid Glucogel Plus.
Progel Plus.
Yeah, liquid Glucogel Plus. Glucogel.
Gel Plus.
Yeah, that's G like Gary, L-U-C-O. Yeah, Glucogel Plus. Now, I understand. It's all right. Okay. So that's 4 Glucogel, 4 selenium, 2 anti-aging Healthy Start Packs, and the last thing I'm going to want you to do is 2 bottles of plant-derived minerals. 2 bottles of plant-derived minerals. Now, you also, Caleb, you and your brother and everybody else in your life needs to stop eating the 10 bad foods. Your brother probably knows what that list is. If he doesn't, you can download it for free on my website, drglidden.com. You need to stop eating food that's hurting your bones and your joints and your nerves. And the last thing you want to do is eat a diet high in cholesterol. Eggs, butter, anything that's high in cholesterol you want to eat a lot of, because your nerves are made from cholesterol, and they need cholesterol in order to help them repair themselves. Eliminate the 10 bad foods. Eat a diet high in cholesterol. Take those supplements and call me back in 4 weeks. I appreciate you guys. Got to go. Hour 2 coming up, folks. Don't even think about touching that dial.